Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and today I want to talk a little bit about what were to happen if Howard Schultz actually does run and the likelihood of him affecting the election. Taking a little break from the whole why did incumbents lose thing to discuss this, because I think it's actually important with him looking more and more likely that he might actually seriously do this. And before I get in, I do want to apologize for missing an upload on Wednesday. I just didn't have time. I had to go out and get a new phone because mine kind of crapped itself and just it died. It didn't just, I can't even turn it on even after doing everything I can to make sure it's fully charged, keeping it plugged in while I try and turn it on. It's dead. It's in a better place. I planted a red fern for it, so anyway, so this is, I'm going to run based off of my personal forecast rather than my model's forecast, because I think that's going to give us a little indication. Or maybe I should run it based off of... No, I'll run based off of my actual personal forecast. So let's... I'm going to assume that 3 scenarios. 1, Howard Schultz gains 0 traction, meaning he doesn't really put up a fight. He doesn't really put up any real sort of showing in the election. And this could be anywhere between 1 and maybe 2% of the vote, And the election probably wouldn't, nothing would seriously change. You might have some effect in a few states, Oops, sorry, that was supposed to be there anyway. You might have that kind of an effect in the nation, maybe flip 1 state. The next thing is maybe significant, but not, he gains some traction beyond a normal year for third-party candidates. He actually does find some messaging. He stays in, doesn't make the debate stage, but he at least provides a serious enough campaign that some people actually take him seriously as a candidate and actually vote for him. In which case, you might actually be able to see Nevada flip. You might actually see Michigan flip. New Hampshire might flip, and I'm actually going to say you might flip the statewide vote in Maine, as well as see the race get more competitive in Virginia, in Minnesota, in Colorado, potentially even a place like New Mexico. It might be somewhat competitive. You probably see Texas be very... You might see me get a lot more confident about Texas. You might see me get a little bit more confident about Iowa, about Pennsylvania, perhaps even Wisconsin, that type of thing. And then there's there's also debate stage series, which is he actually makes the debate stage, but he gets to, we'll put him at Ross Perot numbers. About 16 to 20% of the... Yeah, about 16 to 20% of the popular vote. Again, I really actually don't think he would win any electoral votes in this scenario, at least at this stage. But the interesting thing is that you would probably see a lot of states get more competitive. but they would pretty much all mostly come on the Democratic side of things. You might see Connecticut, Rhode Island. We'll go ahead and put not DC. Delaware and Jersey in that whole category. You might see Oregon and Washington get competitive. And then we'll probably put him at what he would need to actually get some form of, to get an electoral vote, he would have to probably be polling in the 30% range. And I just don't think that's possible for him, and I also just don't know which states he would appeal to most in. But at 15 to 20%, you might see, but anything above 20%, you might actually see him get super competitive in a place like Maine, New Hampshire, states with a lot of moderates, or states with a lot of swing voters, especially if there's a really far left progressive, say a Kamala Harris gets in. You might see him get some Midwestern votes. You might see him get votes from the desert Southwest. But the thing is, in Trump country, you're not going to see him get as many votes, and you're probably not going to see him get as many votes in the Deep South. Schultz, at least. You'll see Trump getting those, you know. Likely, you could see a situation where Schultz flips the Electoral College significantly. There would be even chances for these states to not even be close to serious bets, you know, for Democrats. But again, I honestly am a little skeptical of Schultz's chance to gain traction. I'm also skeptical of his ability to, if he does gain traction, I really don't think Trump's vote totals are going to be significantly affected. Democrats, on the other hand, need to be very worried about Howard Schultz. Because if he does gain traction, it's going to come from mostly moderate Democrats and centrist voters, you know, and true independent voters. And when I say moderate Democrats, I'm talking about your old school blue dog Democrats, as well as Democrats who would have voted for people like Jim Webb, maybe even a Martin O'Malley type. People who would have voted for 90s Clinton as well as George W. Bush, those types. Rather than, say, your Hillary Clinton voters, because most of those are party loyalists. So the best case scenario for Trump might actually, it definitely involves Howard Schultz, because I don't think he picks up nearly as many electoral votes as without Howard Schultz taking away from the Democratic voter base. Now, of course, Trump would lose some votes, obviously, but it would primarily come from people who the Democrats are counting on to deliver them the White House in 2020. So if I was Donald Trump, I'd actually maybe even be seeing if I could find a way to donate to Howard Schultz's campaign. In secret, though, obviously, because that would be a little... But that's all mostly because of the whole first-past-the-post voter system. But yes, if I were a Democrat, I would be worried about Howard Schultz. If I were a Republican, I would be wanting him to get serious traction. Not that I think Trump needs a third-party, more left-wing candidate to get reelected, but it makes it a more sure bet. Especially if he actually makes the debate stage. Because if he does make the debate stage, his numbers would likely go up. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Bye.